I guess we're live now, right?
That should be how we open every show. Oh, it is how we open
Oh,
every show. I guess we're live. It's like a surprise.
every day is a surprise for me.
Good
Um,
morning.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to We Are Dementia Strong broadcast Saturday morning, and sponsored by Caregiver Support and Resources. Um, Thank you for being a sponsor this morning,
You're welcome.
and every other week we do. So, why don't you tell everybody what we're going to talk about?
I kind of left it open. I found a picture I had of my ticket when I went to see Led Zeppelin here in Tampa, and I believe it was 1977. And so I took a picture of it because Brian and I are trying to minimize how much clutter we have, which happens to be a never ending losing battle because as soon as we think we've got something figured out, the times they are changing,
Yep.
and then we have to figure out new ways of doing things. But so far, scanning and taking pictures of things and saving them on the computer seem to be working for us.
Yes, they are. That's where I keep most of my stuff. Um, is on my on my laptop, and I make backups to make sure that I'm, keeping all my data and all that kind of stuff because and by the way, I know our studio looks a little different this morning. So welcome to our living room. Um, Maureen's computer, not really sure what's going on with it, but we're going
Appears
to,
to be dead.
yeah, we'll have to. Well, hey, we can give it a water burial,
Mm.
or maybe not. Okay, so now I forgot what I was going to say.
Why our studio looks
Oh
different.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Maureen's
My computer
computer
died.
died, and so we're on my laptop in our living room, and so that's why things look a little bit different there. So, well, good morning, Melinda. How are you? Thanks for joining in. Okay, so you said you were talking about how we are saving things, correct? Or
Minimalizing and saving, yes, because of the career I have had so far. One of the things that I have found to be the most frustrating for loved ones to deal with when an elder becomes sick or dies or unable to take care of themselves is the clutter, the garbage, not being able to access the information they need because I've helped clean out houses where they had, 20 years worth of electric bills filed and uh, but we couldn't find their social security card. And so we're trying to organize things so that it's easier for me to find things. If something happens to me, it'll be easier for Brian's care partner team to find things. And it's funny because every once in a while, Brian will say to me, like, you should really write all of this down. And I know that what he means is he sees or hears something or reminds him of something, and he thinks, well, I'm never going to remember this. And if Maureen's not here, I'll be out of luck. So, and most times I've already written it down someplace. But now becomes this constant circular life where we think we have created a routine or a system that works, or we've found some tool that will help us. And like a little stubborn child, dementia says, oh, all right, you think you've got me licked? No, you do not. And Brian will wake up the next morning and it doesn't work anymore for him. And that continuous process of replanning, recreating creates clutter, creates, lack of routine creates confusion. And I know that we are not the only people in this world who are dealing with this. I read about and hear from other people who are care partners that they have this same thing. And I just wonder what it is about dementia in your brain that, and again, everybody's different, so not everybody has this, that makes Brian's brain do this, because it's not just occasional, it's every time. If we make a plan to do something, he won't want to do it when it comes time to do it. And so what do you think causes that?
I guess, well, Alzheimer's.
So but what do you think about the disease? I mean, there's so much I can rationalize why things happen with dementia.
Right.
I can see what it is the catalyst, or I can see the irritant, or I can see the protectiveness that it causes some things to happen. I don't understand the lack of wanting routine.
All right. Well, I'm going to pretend that I came up with this answer. Could it be anxiety?
Well, I think I
Thank you,
read that from
Melinda.
Melinda. And I mean, certainly anxiety and depression are two symptoms in some people living with dementia. But one would think, and I'm just talking out loud here, one would think that having a routine you could count on, something happening the same way all the time, would be something that took away anxiety. So, and here, as soon as I get my general apathy, that's it. um,
You're on a roll, Melinda.
as soon as I get my doctoral degree in medicine, I can officially write a paper on this. But I've been watching everything that's been happening with the coronavirus.
Yeah.
And we had the strain, and we got the vaccines, and now there's a Delta strain, because it is a virus's job in life to survive. And I wonder if it's the plaques and tangles, the tau in the brain, are similar to viruses, and they'll attack anything that doesn't let those cells that are dementia continue to live. And I'm wondering, I wonder if they know that routine is something that helps people to fight off the effects of dementia. So they attack that part of the brain that works with routines.
Yeah. And okay, from my perspective, um, Maureen does put routines into place for me. Um, she makes sure that my medicines. I have two um, medicine boxes, and one's for the morning, one's for the evening. And around, I don't know, 8 o'clock, she'll start asking me, "Did you take your medicine? Did you take?" And I don't know. I don't know. Um, Most of the time, I'll say no, not yet, because I don't want to take it too early, because then it will make me sleepy, and I'm not ready to go to bed yet. Now, why I'm not ready to go to bed yet, I don't know. I just have this thing. If you go to bed too early, then you're going to wake up early in the morning, and blah blah blah. So I I fight it until she'll remind me again, and at that point, I'll look at the clock and it's like, okay, it's getting close. So I'll in 15 minutes, I'm going to take it. And well, then 15 minutes comes around and uh, she will remind me again, and
And she'll get angry.
yeah, yeah.
So
I would
I try to phrase things to Brian. Like I don't want to just say to him, take your medicine, take your medicine, take your medicine, eat breakfast, eat lunch, do this, do that. I don't want to sound like a drill sergeant. So what I'll say is, have you taken your medicine yet? Because I want him to be able to do it on his own,
yeah.
if possible.
But wait, let me go back. Every morning when I go into the kitchen to fix my coffee, there's my morning pill box. And she leaves it there because we decided that that's one of the places that she knows and I know that I'm going to go to first. And so it works. I go fix my coffee and I'll see the box. I know I'm going to take my medication. I take it and my day starts off. But then, yeah,
Sometimes.
well, yeah, like I'm moving a little slow this morning, but I got a lot of it back because when she said my computer broke, um, I I guess I told her, I said that her computer mishap is something that just kind of went into my head, and it's like, okay, you have to change, switch gears, and get these. Um, I'm not coming up with too many things.
Sure.
Okay. Um, my brain just kind of shifts gears and focuses on that one thing because I'm not able to do more than one thing at a time. So I envy people who still can, and but I also want to make sure that I'm doing things right, or not right. Um, I want to make sure that I'm doing things that I'm supposed to be doing, and the more I do that, um, the less she has to remind me to do things. So I hope all that made sense.
And there's your perspective from the person living with. And I'll give you the perspective of the care partner. Whether Brian does it or remembers it on his own, I still have to check.
Yeah,
And so, what we have here that we're constantly, both of us, battling is that to make sure Brian has and gets everything he needs, I need routine so that I know, okay, it's 9 o'clock. I need to go check and see if when Brian got coffee, he took his meds. Well, I get it, I start working usually around 6:30 in the morning. So by 9 o'clock, I may already be on the phone with somebody or doing something. So then it may be 9:30, and then by the time I go out there and look, you know, I forget to look because guess what? Even people without dementia forget things. So I need and I crave that routine because it's like constantly having a checklist in my mind of what I need to do. Um, if we go off script, which we do all the time, so I don't know why I don't figure out something new. I guess what I probably need to do is actually write down a list, and I need to just keep the list by me. Melinda asked if you do well with Alexa telling you. He used to do very, very well because anywhere you hear Brian, who has spoken, he'll tell the story about his two girlfriends.
yeah. And why?
Who are your two girlfriends?
Oh, Siri and Alexa. Siri is at home, and No, Siri goes with me on my phone, and well, Alexa stays here in a darkened corner. I think she gets sad every once in a while. But
And
anyways,
then he gets mad at her. Well, you weren't very polite. But what I found is if we put reminders on her, he tunes them out. I've
yeah.
been in my office and heard her tell him, because I'll usually set it up for, multiple times.
I'll tell her to shut up.
That's right. He'll just
Not
answer her.
Maureen, not Maureen.
Oh, he tells me to shut up plenty.
Do not.
You do too. You say, won't you shut up? And I say, won't you shut up? Quinn, don't feel badly. He came up with that before he knew you. I'm sure that if he were out on the speaking circuit now, he'd talk about his 3 girlfriends, Siri, Alexa, and Quinn.
You see, now it's getting, crowded.
Well, Quinn's pretty tiny,
Well, yeah, but
and Siri's on your phone, and Alexa's only about this big.
I understand that, but Quinn should know by now that there's not a doubt, where she stands in the hierarchy of I don't even know what hierarchy means, but
Girlfriends.
yeah, exactly.
Okay, well,
And
good. Yay
Brian,
for Quinn.
oh, thank you, Melinda. I have a harem now. Okay, but Quinn's the queen.
Really?
Well, no, you are. Oh, okay. Good night, everybody. I'm digging myself a hole.
So, Nia, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. You live alone with mention. When Brian lived alone, he also used his alarms and his Alexa a lot. But as he's progressed further into the disease, he has built, I don't know, resentment. He treats them just like he treats me. He gets angry with me for reminding him and asking him and stuff. And he does the same thing with Alexa and Siri. If we set alarms or reminders or anything, he resents them and he yells at them.
But okay. Huh. No, thank you, Alexa.
Yeah. See, now he's being nice.
Good morning. Anyway, no, it's what I'm trying to do is, yeah, I'm talking to an inanimate object that is set to, remind me of these things that I need to do. I would much rather yell at her than her. So this sounds weird, but I'm training myself to cut down on the anger that I get, because I just don't like being told what to do and when to do it. But I understand that if Maureen does not do that, then it's going to be a serious issue.
And what frustrates him a lot about me in this realm is that I tend to fall into a mother role. And when I'm trying to help him remember things and keep his life in order and do what he needs to do, he says I talk to him like a child sometimes. What I do is I'll say, hey, did you remember to take your meds this morning? Or, when he checks his blood glucose and he's bottomed out at, 62, I say, well, maybe that's because you didn't eat today. And that angers him. So it's one of the most frustrating things that I deal with, and I'm sure it's frustrating for you also.
What's that?
What we're talking about.
You're reminding me?
Well, the whole symptoms of dementia that, not remembering to do things, me having to remind you, or using something like Siri or Alexa.
Yeah.
It's a constant in your face reminder, I would think.
I don't like, you know, this goes back to pre-diagnosis, and even, you know, pre-systems, or not systems,
Routine.
routines, yeah. Um, I in Part of my brain will tell me that it's time to do something, and I don't know what that is. Um, we keep Alexa in the bedroom
Which is
because
also his office.
which is also my office, and it's like yeah, when she says it, I hear it, but if if I'm in the middle of something, then I kind of ignore it. And then Maureen will come in and say, have you taken your medicines?" And it's kind of mean, but I sometimes respond to her as something along the lines, if you're reminding me, or if you're asking me if I took my medicine, I feel like I fell into a trap, because if I say yes, that's great. If I say no, then she reminds me again. And um, is that making sense?
Hmm?
Okay.
I live it every day. Of course, it makes sense.
Yeah, okay.
So, Linda, I was noticing you said you also use alarms, and that sometimes you turn off the alarm and go ahead and do a different task and forget. And that's what I found happening with Brian as well. He would say something like, "Thank you, Alexa," and then she would stop reminding him, and he wouldn't do it. So, and then there was a point at which during COVID, from 6:30 in the morning until 11 o'clock at night, he went in and programmed all the things he wanted to remember to do. So, I mean, every half hour we were being told,
Yeah.
bombarded with what to do. And that also became, when it became more ineffective. And so that's when we stopped that, because it's always extremes with dementia. Always extremes. Okay, we're going to, put everything on an alarm, everything on Alexa, and have her remind me of everything, or we're not going to do it at all. And, I maybe think that the person who needs to have the alarms, the reminders, is me. Because you
Yeah.
can tell me to shut up and I won't. You can
Oh,
thank me, still make you do it.
I don't think that would be a good idea, because I don't want I don't want to get angry with you, because if you're the reminder, then I usually um well, yeah, now here's this. She's asking me if I'm taking my medicines, if I've taken my medicine, and I'll say, "Well, I don't know." And then I'll say, "But being that you're asking me, it is this a trick?" Because I know if she's asking me, she's already walked in the kitchen. She's seen the medicine box still full for that day. And I don't know. I don't like being mad, or acting out towards her. It's not her fault. All she's trying to do is to make sure that I'm taking my medicine. I mean, it's normal for her to do that, and I'm trying to still embrace the fact that I need help, you know? I've tried to remain a very, uh, act not active,
Independent.
independent. Um, and I wanted to stay that way for the as long as I could, but I know that I'm at a time where that part is going away. And so I have to rely on Maureen to give me those hints or and she doesn't do it mean, she's just she's caring for me.
Right. But I do recognize what you said to me the other day is true. I do tend to go into mom mode
Oh yeah.
when I'm doing it, and I apologize for this, and I will try not very hard not to do it. I do tend to talk to you in a voice that is more childlike.
Yeah. And yeah, that that doesn't go
Yep.
too well.
No, it doesn't.
But she like I said, she's just trying to help and make sure that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do because I take a lot of
And pills
pills.
aren't the only thing. It sounds like all you do all day long is take
I
pills, and
do. I pop them, popping
that's
pills.
not true. But it's eating. It's that he has an
Uh,
appointment. It's that we're going to go someplace. He'll tell me, remind me that I want to do this, or remind me that I want to do that. And then, so I write it down so that I'll remind him. And then it's just, I think right now, some resentment, like you said, of losing some of your independence.
yeah.
And I understand that. Um, Melinda said, "Is there any way that can get your frustrations out? Any tools that work for you?"
To get I guess I should have a punching bag or something, but no.
Why?
To get
No, why no?
oh, well, I don't know where we put it.
Well, if that's what you
Um,
think would get your
no,
frustration
no,
out,
I don't.
try punching the couch for a while, see if that works. If it
That
does, we'll get you a punching bag.
I would say,
It's a good idea, Melinda. Hi,
punch.
Evan. We love you too.
Oh, it's Mr. Evan Holler, Alzheimer's Association extraordinaire. Put the punching bag outside near the birds.
And I'll dangle hot dogs around it.
Will someone besides me tell her that giving birds hot dogs is not a good idea? I'm trying to keep my little birdie friends, and she goes, throw 'em a hot dog." And it's like, no, they
First, I
can't.
don't tell you to throw them a hot dog. We cut
Okay.
it up.
Oh yeah, cut it up, but they're still not to. Um, uh, I lost it. Sorry.
It's okay. We aren't doing it anyways. I don't know why you keep bringing it up. One time, I gave one piece of a hot dog to one bird. You would think, from what you tell, I'm out there trying
And
to kill them
and
all.
have you seen that bird again?
Yes, I did.
They all look alike.
Can you tell me it wasn't the same bird?
So anyway, um, it's
Free the birds.
free the birds. Well, I do take photographs, Melinda. That you know, I I mean, we're very fortunate to live where we live. I mean, we're doing this out of our living room right now, but as I look out the window, the picture window, I mean, it's Tampa Bay, you know. So I take
Oh my
lots of
goodness, is that a bird with a hot dog?
anyway. I I take pictures a lot. I love taking pictures of clouds. I love taking pictures of sunrises and sunsets and all this and I can look back on the pictures. So and the most valuable lesson that I can remember that Maureen taught me was she said, because she would ask me, do you remember being here? Do you remember being, and she'd show me a photo or something. And sometimes I would remember, sometimes I wouldn't. And I would get frustrated because I was not able to recall. But she said, um, if you look at the picture, and even though you can't remember where you were, but if it gives you a feeling and you then can experience the feeling you felt where you were in that picture. And that's how I try to look at pictures now. Because of that fact, because it gives me that warm, the warm, fuzzy feeling, that little bitty moment in time. But that little bitty moment in time may be the only time during the course of that day that I can remember.
We have, I should say, Brian has a monstrosity of a TV. It's humongous. And keep finding a way to put pictures so that they show up on the TV. And we call it the Emma show because most of the pictures of our granddaughter Emma. But there's other pictures of things he and I have done together and things that he likes and such. And without treating him like a child, I will say, you know, there's your favorite tree, or he always remembers Emma, but there's when we took Emma to the strawberry festival. And so we do use photographs already,
Yeah.
and then he's got them on his phone and he'll go through that. Um, the thing of it is that I have always heard, and Melinda, you'd be able to teach me better than anybody. Um, I've always heard that music, the repetition of notes in the same order, the percussion doing the same pattern helps to keep people's brains in order, thinking in order. And so I've tried to be using non lyric music to help Brian's brain get more organized. And it seems to work.
Yeah. Um, yeah. Sometimes the
Repetition.
yeah, well, no, when I hear the lyrics, then it, you know, it's funny because a song will come on that I haven't heard in 20 years, but man, I can I can jump right in. I know all the words and everything else. So I know that's in my long-term memory, and uh but that's okay
But
as long as it's still there.
but we also do the typical people our age thing. We'll be singing along to a song and realize that for all of our lives we've been using the wrong words.
What was the song? You had sung something different.
Well, I sang the theme to the Roadrunner cartoon to you this morning.
Oh, that was wonderful. I'm just waking up, still sleepy, and all of a sudden I hear Road Runner, coyotes after you. And it's like, oh God, what? And see what she's doing right now? She does the same thing.
And then
Oh,
when it does the beep beep,
yeah, she squeezes my nose.
he gets up. Well,
I
guys,
do.
again, we're going to ask you to send us ideas for the show. We're looking for people to interview. And although I know Brian and I can be extremely entertaining, we
Everybody,
get bored and
yeah.
sick of us.
It's like we're together 24/7 basically, and every once in a while we need a break, and that's when she goes on appointments. I think she makes them up just to get out the house.
Hardly.
But thank you for your questions. Your questions and comments were very good. I see that we have some new people that have joined to see the beep beep back at you, Melinda. Um, we do have some new folks that have joined in that we haven't seen before, so thank y'all for joining. Tell a friend, and because um, we do this to not just present the perspective of me, but with somebody living with dementia, but we also give the care partner's view, which is and that's what you know Maureen does.
We also
But
learn from you guys.
yeah, very much so.
I never thought that having these chat boxes over here would be an effective tool, but it is. I guess we're not as old as we think we are. We're still adapting.
I know. We're computer gurus or something.
Anyway, thank you for giving us some of your Saturday. And we would love, love, love to get some ideas of people you'd like to hear from or ideas you'd like to hear experts talk on that are related to living with dementia or care partnering.
And in case you didn't know, Melinda is a music therapist. I think I said that right. And you'll see her comments in there, and she uses music to help people
Living with dementia.
living with dementia. And that's why I'm so drawn to music, because I know the the effect that music has on me. Now, it may not be the same exact way that this person over here is going to how it's going to affect them, but you set up a personal playlist and of all your favorite songs, and you keep adding them, and then
Of
sometimes it
which
might
Brian has nearly 5,000. I don't know if you have almost 5,000 songs you can call them your favorite.
anyway. um I have a large oh god. you
um,
know
Mithrani, thank you.
yeah, thank you very much. Whose side are you on anyway?
Okay, so if you notice, when I start to wrap it up, Brian will bring up something new. So I'm going to just say thank you, and we'll see you next Saturday. Bye bye.
Bye, y'all, and hello, Linda.